New at 4, widespread service changes are on the way for RIPTA riders. The Rhode Island Public Transit Authority Board of Directors recently voted to approve a plan designed to cover the agency's more than $9 million budget deficit. But the approach means that riders will see cuts to more than 40 of RIPTA's 67 routes. Boston Globe Rhode Island reporter Christopher Gavin has been covering this issue and is here now to discuss it with us. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Kim. Glad to be back.
So we've been hearing about RIPTA's budget woes for a long time, for months, particularly since state lawmakers left the agency with a sizable hole in the fiscal year 2026 state budget. So can you just backtrack a little bit? Tell us how we got here.
Sure. So RIPTA was initially dealt a nearly $33 million gap in the governor's budget proposal earlier this year. Now, House lawmakers were able to throw RIPTA an additional $15 million, and then RIPTA officials whittled down the gap a bit more. But RIPTA was still $9 million short. So in July, RIPTA unveiled a plan to cover the shortcomings that included cutting 16 bus routes altogether and implementing changes to most routes at the time. RIPTA's officials also said they were considering fare increases and potentially layoffs to make ends meet. There was significant public pushback on that approach, and just before the board was set to take action in August, Governor Dan McKee urged them to draft a new plan. So last week that plan was unveiled and was approved. It includes service reductions and a plan to adjust fares, but it does not eliminate any routes altogether and steers clear of the need for driver layoffs.
This sort of last minute change took me by surprise, and so I'm curious, how was RIPTA able to cover the deficit under this new plan? Right.
Yeah, there are a few tactics in play. One is the state government is giving RIPTA $3 million one-time advance of federal dollars. RIPTA is also eliminating some administrative roles it had been seeking to fill.
Okay, but we know that RIPTA isn't going to be eliminating any routes under this plan like they were in the previous plan, but there's still going to be some changes. So what can riders expect?
Yeah, riders will see less frequent bus service. For instance, the Route 68 bus in Newport will operate every 85 to 90 minutes instead of the current 45-minute interval.
Okay.
Some holiday and weekend service will also be eliminated on certain routes, and park and ride routes will see some service cuts on some trips. The changes take hold on September 27th, and riders can see all of them at ripta.com/service changes.
So what has the response been? What are officials saying? What are riders and advocates saying?
So Governor McKee and RIPTA CEO Christopher Durand have said the plan protects core ridership services without raising taxes for Rhode Islanders. But riders and advocates have made clear that they think that while the plan is, certainly an improvement from the first proposal, it's still going to have drastic impacts on those who rely on RIPTA to get about their daily lives. They also worry that this could potentially trigger a quote-unquote death spiral for RIPTA, in which service cuts lead to lower ridership and so on and so forth.
I guess we will have to wait and see how the changes impact folks when they go into effect later this month. Chris Gavin from the Boston Globe Rhode Island, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Kim.
And if you want to catch Chris's coverage, you can head to globe.com/RI. Looking ahead to tomorrow, when Erica Walker from Brown University's Noise Lab will join us to talk about proposed noise cameras in Providence and just how noisy the city is. That's tomorrow on 12 News at 4.